Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages. I wanted to share with you guys today my TBR for Descend-a-thon, which is a readathon happening in November, and it's based on the Disney movies Descendants, which I haven't actually seen, so it might seem a bit weird that I'm taking part in the readathon, but I saw Hugo announce it over on Scientist Reading World. Hugo is one of the 8, I believe, hosts for the readathon, and it just sounded really fun. The premise of the movie is that the villains and heroes of the Disney characters have had kids, and so the films are about their children. And I think Hugo mentioned that they were going to do a watch along of the movie during the readathon, so I thought, well, I can join in with the readathon and then just watch the movie during the month. So it totally sounds like something I'd probably like, so I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, there are 8 hosts and one of them is Hugo, and I will link Hugo's video that he announced down below, because in his video he shares all the other hosts' videos and everything. So I'll share that down below, but it sounds really fun. I'm really excited to take part. So the 2 teams are either heroes or villains, and I've decided to go on the heroes team, and so I'll just quickly run through the prompts for the heroes team and tell you which books I've picked. So the first prompt is read a retelling. It's supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but you can stretch it to any kind of retelling that you want, and I've decided to go for a book that's already on my TBR, which is Winter by Marissa Meyer, and this is the very last book in the Lunar Chronicles, and I'm so excited about getting to it. So if you haven't heard of the Lunar Chronicles before, it's a collection of 4 main stories, but there are extra stories as well. The first book is Cinder, which is like a Cinderella retelling, and then Winter is a Snow White retelling. But yeah, they're kind of very loosely retellings. They have a whole like crazy storyline that arcs through the whole 4 books, and I really enjoy it. One of the big things about this book is that it's set many years into the future, and it's set at a time where some of the earthlings, some of the humans went from Earth up to the moon and settled up there and named it Luna, and then they started to change and become different from the humans left down on Earth. And that's a very kind of vague description of what the book is, which doesn't tell you anything. But I'm really enjoying this series. It's super fast paced. You're basically thrown into the action straight off the bat. I will say with Cinder, when I first started it, it took me about half the book to get into it, but then once I was into it, I was kind of whisked away. And then since then, I've been pretty hooked. Then prompt number 2 is read a book with a cover that you like, but you don't think you're going to like the book, which was really tricky because everything on my TBR I already think I'm going to like. What I've decided to go for this one, which is probably really stupid because it's a really massive book and I've already got a massive TBR, but I've decided to go for Dune by Frank Herbert. So I do like science fiction, but there's something about this book that I feel like I'm not going to like, and I don't know if it's because I like science fiction and fantasy, but when it turns into a kind of massive war, I think I like it less. So for instance, I don't really love Star Wars or that kind of thing, and I don't know if Dune is going to be anything like that or nothing like that at all, but for some reason, because it's a classic sci-fi, I feel less inclined to pick it up, if that makes sense. The other thing is, because it's written in the 60s, I kind of feel I'm concerned that it's going to come across weird with like female characters and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'll love the book, but I feel like that's why I haven't really wanted to pick it up, even though I do want to read it and then watch the film that's just come out. The other reason I chose it for this prompt is because there's an edition of it that has a super nice cover, so I'll probably try and find it and put it up here for you to see it. But yeah, it's so nice and pretty, and I really want that book, although I can't find it anywhere because I have looked for it. So the only thing I do know about this book is that you follow a young boy called Paul, and his family, I think, are in charge of this uninhabitable world, and they have to kind of run it, but there's only one thing of value there, and that one thing is this drug that everybody in the universe wants. And so I guess it goes on from there, and I really don't know anything else other than that, which it does sound intriguing. Then the third prompt is read a book that is either inspired by or based on a musical, or if it has some musical element to it. So another book that was already on my TBR was Frostheart Escape from Aurora, which is the second book in the Frostheart series by Jamie Littler. And this book definitely has musical elements to it. In the first book, when you first meet Ash, he is on his stronghold in this very icy land, and he's waiting for his parents. And the only thing he has to remember his parents by is this forbidden lullaby that they used to sing to him that's actually well, it's forbidden in the land. So perfect. The fourth prompt is to read an underrated book. And for this, I've decided to go for another book that was on my TBR, which is called Path to the Stars by Sylvia Acevedo. This is Sylvia Acevedo's memoir, and the reason that I picked it for an underrated book is because it only has 526 ratings on Goodreads, but the actual reviews are glowing. So I was like, okay, this seems like a really good book. So in this book, Sylvia tells her story of joining the Girl Scouts and eventually becoming an engineer for NASA. She's not anymore, but Sylvia used to be the CEO of the Girl Scouts in America. And she's also an engineer, and when I looked her up, it said that she started her career at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and she worked on the Voyager 2 mission. Which is pretty cool because if you don't know, Voyager 2 is a space probe that has been flying through space since 1977, and it is currently more than 11.9 billion miles from Earth, which is insane. You can probably tell by the cover, but it is a kid's book as well, so it's written for young children to be inspired about becoming scientists, basically, which is really cool. So those are all the prompts for Descend-a-thon, and then finally there is a group book, and the group book for the Heroes team is Stay Gold by Tobley McSmith. And this book, I think, is a bit of a high school romance story. So you follow a transgender boy who has just moved schools and he just wants to live like the quiet life at school. He doesn't want too much attention. He just wants to kind of have a bit of a peaceful time at his new school. The other character you follow is a young cheerleader, and she has sworn off dating for the whole year, but then they meet and it goes on from there. So it sounds really cute, and I'm really looking forward to reading that as the group book with everybody else. I think that'll be really fun. So yeah, that's my Descend-a-thon TBR. I'm looking forward to it next month. It should be really fun. I'd really love to know if any of you guys are also joining in and what you're reading for the readathon. So feel free to let me know down in the comments section. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.